Hey guys, I'm Alistair from Trail & Kale, and this is my Brooks Adrenaline GTS 23 review. What a mouthful. And what a shoe. If you're not familiar with Trail & Kale, it's a running website designed to help you run your best through our Running 101 advice, run training schedules or plans, and also our running shoe reviews just like this one. So definitely go check it out. Now, who is this running shoe for? Well, it's very much a stability or support running shoe. Super popular Brooks running shoe. It's been around for, well, nearly 30 years. I think it was 30 years ago this year that the first Brooks Adrenaline GTS was ever released. Now it is on version 23, so obviously they must not have been releasing one every year. But it's a testament to how popular this running shoe is, the fact it's on number 23. And people are obviously buying this running shoe year after year for a reason. So I was really excited to go out and test this Brooks running shoe to see what the fuss is all about and to see what makes it so special. Now, before getting into the things I really like about this running shoe and some of the things I'm not too keen on, I will first quickly go over some of the key statistics. First off then, it is $140 from brooksrunning.com. That's very reasonably priced in my opinion for a support running shoe. Well, for any running shoe in general actually, and that's something I've noticed about Brooks Running along the way over the years. Their shoes are really reasonably priced for what you get. So I'm becoming more and more a fan of Brooks because they're making running accessible to more and more runners that don't have hundreds and hundreds of dollars to fork out on shoes. So I really love what Brooks have been doing with respect to accessibility. Now they are 10 ounces in weight or 283 grams. That's for these shoes here, which is the size US men's 9. Oh, look at that, lunch has arrived. Thanks, Helen. That's not much of a lunch, but we've been having power cuts here in California, so we don't actually have anything that we can cook or nothing to cook food with because there's no power. So we're resorting to things like bananas and apples and whatever we can get our hands on. Anyway, back to this review. So 10 ounces for a support running shoe is not too bad. It's not the lightest shoe by any means. And in fact, I recently reviewed the Hoka Arahi 7, which I believe was 9.5 ounces. So very much a support shoe as well, with a little bit more cushion than this shoe. And it does weigh less. So that's something to consider about this shoe. Now the Adrenaline GTS 23 has a drop of 12 millimeters from heel to toe. That's quite a high drop, not something I would personally usually go for, but I think a lot of new runners and people who have been buying this shoe over the years have got used to that drop and probably really like it. That's probably why they keep buying the shoe, or one of the reasons anyway. But for me, that's going to be one of my down points, and I'll go into why in just a moment. It is very much a medium width shoe, so across the shoe, toe box, it's a medium shoe, and stability support wise, like I said before, this is very much a stability support running shoe. So that will help stop your feet from rolling from side to side, otherwise known as pronation. So if you have any of those issues, a support shoe like this is definitely going to be for you. And what it does is kind of aligns your knee with your foot when you're running and stops your ankle going from side to side or pronating. So that's what a support shoe is for. Many people love them because of it. Many people don't need support shoes and would go for a neutral shoe. Cushioning wise, this is very much a medium cushion shoe. There's certainly more cushioning under the heel and not so much under the forefoot. Once again, I'm going to go into this in a minute because this is also something I feel could be improved. Who's it best for then? Well, this is very much a daily trainer for those who need support. Whether you're a new runner or you just have pronation issues, then this shoe is going to be for you. If none of that sounds like you, then this shoe won't be for you. All right, that's all that nerdy statistic stuff out of the way. Let's get into how it feels and just generally what makes it a good shoe in my opinion. Well, first off is, well, I'm going to start with the cushioning in the midsole. and the support for that matter, because it's kind of tied in. I really love how the support works on this shoe. Now it uses Brooks's GuideRails system, and you should be able to see that written on the side here. Effectively what that is GuideRails that goes underneath your heel and helps to stop you pronating and helps to stop your ankle swaying like so. So I really like the Brooks for its support and stability there. Next up is the upper. Super comfortable. This seems to be very common with support shoes. Lots of cushioning and support around the side of your feet, not just for your pronation. It's supporting your ankles and just being as comfortable as possible for new runners. If you're enjoying this Brooks Adrenaline GTS 23 review, please give it a like. Drop a comment down below if you've got any experience with this running shoe. I'd love to hear your thoughts too. And consider subscribing to our channel for more running shoe reviews just like this. Yeah, so that cushion is all around the collar. It's around the heel counter at the back as well. And the tongue. So tons of cushioning. This will just feel like a cloud if you haven't worn Brooks before. It is very consistent with many other Brooks running shoes actually. They do like to have a lot of cushioning around the collar and the counter and also the tongue. I think that's what makes it so popular for new runners, Brooks that is. And also just runners who want support and that cushy feeling when they're running. Now the heel counter on the outside, there's tons of support there as well. This is very solid. Like if I try to push this in, I can't. There's a lot of support in there, and there must be something plastic underneath. So yeah, that's really good. That will hold your heel up nicely and help to stop that pronation. And the other thing is, although it's a very thick upper, it is pretty breathable as well. So you get a nice bit of regulated air temperature and airflow going through into the shoe. One of the other things I really like about the Adrenaline GTS 23 then is the traditional lacing system and how it cinches or hugs your feet when you do it up. So it's traditional. There's nothing fancy going on with this, but it works really, really well. And it's just, yeah, I'm able to get a really nice fit when I do the shoes up on my feet. So I think a lot of people are going to really like how they feel because of this upper as well. Next thing is the durability of the outsole. It's superb. I've already been on quite a few runs on this shoe just to see how they hold up, because after my first run I could tell it was pretty durable already. And hopefully you can see there's still a lot of fine or microfaceted tread in there. It's holding up super well, so I'm really impressed with that. Some shoes like the Hoka Arahi 7 don't have the rubber compound all across the outsole. They kind of zone it out, so they've got EVA foam like this tiny bit here, but they've got it in more places on the Arahi 7 for example. And those are the sections that kind of lose durability. So I really like the Brooks have not cheaped out. Yes, it makes it a slightly heavier shoe, but there's certainly more durability across the outsole. So really like the outsole. And then finally, $140, super reasonable, makes running accessible to more people because of that great price point. So yeah, great value for money as well. Now let's get into some of the downsides of this shoe, or some ways in which it could be improved in my opinion. Firstly is that 12mm drop. It's too much for me. Now like I said, I'm not sure how far back in the Adrenaline GTS series that goes. By the way, if you're not familiar with GTS, that means go-to support. So there are quite a few shoes in the Brooks lineup that have a GTS version, and all that means is it's a supportive version and will likely have the GuideRails and more support within the heel counter. I thought I should just get that out there in case the GTS was throwing you off and you were wondering what the heck that meant. Because I wouldn't blame you if you thought that was some kind of racing analogy, like in racing cars, the GTS for example. But no, it's the complete opposite. It means it's a support shoe. So not really a shoe for going fast or anything like that, just for feeling comfortable. helping your biomechanics and stopping things like pronation. Going back to the drop, it's just a little bit too much, 12 millimeters. And the way the shoe is set up, there isn't really enough cushioning under the forefoot to support that 12 millimeter drop, sorry. So there are ways in which this could be fixed. I feel like you could put more cushioning or more stack height in the forefoot over here, or reduce that drop, spread the overall weight of the runner throughout the shoe, and then you probably wouldn't have to have quite so much cushioning under the forefoot for anyone who wants to run midfoot or forefoot as a runner. I'm a forefoot runner, so I'm very much kind of running on that tiptoe forefoot as I'm trying to run fast. But if you are a heel striker, then you probably won't even notice the lack of extra cushioning in the forefoot. That's really it from the downsides. I mean, for a shoe that's $140, I can't really fault it more than the drop and the cushioning under the forefoot. So a really great value running shoe. If you need a support shoe, I'd definitely recommend trying it out. The competition right now, I would maybe look towards the On Cloud Runner or the Hoka Arahi 7. Two other great running shoes, but hopefully that will put you in the ballpark of where you want to be looking for a support running shoe. Well, thanks for watching another running shoe review from Trail and Kale. I'm Alistair. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.